So let's talk about this nifty item. This is the Whiskey Wedge Glass by Corksicle. And this is about dilution and it's about flavor. Remember that alcohol burns through ice like crazy. So if you're drinking your whiskey on the rocks, which means you're using a lot of little ice cubes, you've got a lot of surface area for that alcohol to interact with, lots of dilution. If you have one large ice cube, you have less surface area for that alcohol to interact with. Less surface area, less dilution, more flavor. And that's what this purports to do. This is the Corksicle Whiskey Wedge Glass. It's a beautiful package, beautiful package. And inside the box, all kinds of really nice graphics. And on the back, you have more graphics and instructions. What you have inside here is, give me a moment to get it out. You have this really nicely designed glass. It's very heavy, very sturdy. And what you have on top here is this silicone gizmo. It's a funnel, really. It's a funnel and a mold. And what you do is you put water inside the mold. I'll show you that in just a moment. And then you put the glass in the freezer. And you see right here, the silicone part of this, forces the water into this wedge shape inside the glass. So then when it freezes, you take your glass out of the fridge, the freezer, and you take the mold out and you have this wedge-shaped ice cube right here inside the glass. And then you put your whiskey in it and you drink it and you get that chilling with much less dilution. And we're going to test this. I'm going to go through the motions. I'm going to freeze it and we're going to try the whiskey in this glass on the rocks, and we're going to try it in this glass, the Corksicle Whiskey Wedge, and we'll compare. I'll talk to you about it. We'll use the same whiskey, the same pour, and then after a couple minutes, I'll actually pour the whiskey out of the glass and measure what liquid there is. So I'm going to go fill it with water right now. Stand by, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Quick side note, make sure when you pour the water in, you're pouring it down this center channel. This has nothing to do with the ice. This is just empty space, but this is the little funnel with the little opening. It's dripping all over me now. That allows the water to go down into the glass. And also make sure that these little tabs right here on the sides are sticking out before you put it in the freezer, because this helps you get a purchase on it. Okay? I'll be right back. I'm back. The water in the Corksicle Whiskey Wedge Glass is frozen, and I want to give you a hint. Remember when you filled it, you ran the water right down this middle channel, but when you go to take the silicone mold out, it's a little tricky. So you want to fill these side pockets with water. That loosens it just enough that it will come out. So what you have, once you take this wedge-shaped mold out, is you have, oh, you can't see it because it's kind of frosty. There you go. Now you can see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour equal measures of whiskey into the Corksicle Whiskey Wedge Glass, as well as this glass that is filled with ice. This is the same way you'd get it if it was served to you on the rocks in a bar. And I'm going to leave it in the glasses for a moment, maybe a minute, and then we'll measure the liquid. I'll pour it out into these nifty little glasses, and we'll measure the liquid that comes out, and that will tell us how much difference there is in the dilution using these two different ways of chilling the whiskey. Whoops, bumped the whole contraption. Sorry there. No, that was not an earthquake. This is Woodford Reserve Malt Whiskey. It's neither here nor there. I just want you to know it is very, very good. I know most of you haven't tried it because I feature it at my whiskey events, and nobody knows about it except me, and now you. So here we go. I've got one full measure right here in the Corksicle Whiskey Wedge Glass. I have another full measure right the way to the top there, right here in our glass filled with ice. Now, I even poured the Corksicle measure first to give that a little head start. We're going to talk for about another, watch the timer there, about another 30 seconds. Remember, when you're tasting whiskey, if you chill your whiskey, if you drink it on the rocks, or if you drink it with one large ice cube, whatever shape that may be, drink it the way you like it, but do remember that when you chill something, you can't taste it. as well. That's why you can't taste ice cream until it melts in your mouth. That having been said, drink your whiskey the way you like it. Don't feel ashamed when people go, oh, you drink your whiskey on the rocks? Sure, if that's the way you like it, do it that way. Okay, it's been 30 seconds. That's long enough. I'm going to pour, oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Let's go the clear side there. It's all frosty around here. Isn't that pretty? I like the way that looks. Oh, I wish the bars had that. So I'm going to pour the liquid now from the whiskey wedge glass into this little, I don't have any place to, I'll set it down. You'll just have to trust me. And I will also pour the whiskey that was in this glass. I'm gonna make a mess. There we go. Now, let's take a look at the difference. Can you see? There is a measurable difference there. And the color of the whiskey, it's been diluted. That's great for the microphone, isn't it? It sounds pretty. I'm trying to hold them completely level here. I don't have anything to set them on. Let me just narrate as I go, shall I? I'll set them on the corksicle box. Do you see the difference in the amount of liquid that came out of those glasses? Remember, more surface area on the ice, more dilution. I'm going to taste this one. I know what this whiskey tastes like. It's very, very good. This is the one that was served on the rocks. Yum. And this is the one that was in the whiskey wedge glass by Corksicle. There is a marked difference. I don't know if you can tell on camera the difference in color. There is a marked difference. It's still very, very good. This is a good whiskey, but the one that was in the Corksicle, it's got loads more flavor. And I'm not just saying that because that's what I always say. I'm telling you the truth. It's really a very, very big difference. I'm gonna pour it right back in there. So why do people drink it on the rocks? Why do they like, I'm gonna put the other one in there too. Why do people drink their whiskey chilled? Well, it's because that's the way they like it. And also because when you chill something, you do dull your taste buds a little bit. And for those people who find whiskey to be a little bit hot and they need to settle the more volatile portions of it, not just the flavor. I was going to say volatile flavor, but that's not what I mean. When they want to settle the more volatile aromas and the more volatile chemicals that give them that burn, they like to drink it on the rocks. And then as they sip on it, it gets a little more dilute. You know how it is when you're drinking Coca-Cola and at the bottom, it's kind of like watered down Coca-Cola and it's really refreshing when you get to the bottom. That happens with whiskey too. And now I'm mostly just babbling, but you get my point. So if you do choose to drink your whiskey over ice, do yourself a favor. Get more flavor and use 1 large ice cube or something like the Corksicle Whiskey Wedge Glass. I'll leave a link to this product down in the description below the video. And if you click on it, it's an affiliate link and I do get a little payback. And if you don't click on it, well, at least now you know.